happen. Beestick nails the headshot, and Sinners live to fight another day.
All right, 2 for 2 on pistols. You can't lose the game now. You know, if you win both pistols and you get blown out, that's definitely a you problem. They got the runway from that first half, but it didn't materialize into much more after the opening 3. I think that they can turn the tide now with the secondary pistol, of course, being on the CT effort. They'll have to really account for all the tricks that Nancy like to pull out. This, of course, will not be one of those rounds where everyone is just simply on Glocks, so no tricks to be had. No shots to be taken, unless Mayern hits some nice ones in the Deeg.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, we can have a repeat beginning of the half, and Sinners. Yeah, really impressive aim by DGT at the end as well. Probably had no right to clutch that round, but it just goes to show the levels. Maybe one of the things that holds Sinners back just a tad. This Huazo peak, it's going to be a play that you'll see him make a lot, is being the first one out, trying to be that space maker and space taker. And although he goes down, he's done his job. They get the 1-for-1. Shadow's going to betray Beestick on the approach, and Luchov's aim is so on point. Surgical precision. Motto going to be trying to move in, but Luchov just removes him through the smoke. And in doing so, 9Z gift-wrapped. Well, do you know what? I'm not going to say gift-wrapped. They stole this round. They took it by their own hard work and grit and tenacity. But not, like, Sinners not doing themselves any favors with some of those positional changes.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just get to see the power that Luchov can bring. God, there is a world, and listen, I'm happy to see the successes of 9Z, but there is a world where I want Try and Tomishin. I don't know if you're familiar with Tomishin and what he's been doing, but
Yes, yep.
yeah, there's a world where that roster could exist, and I just think that slaps. But you know, when you've got Luchov, Digit, Huaso, hell, Max, you know, putting out great performances and hitting important shots, that makes a world of a difference. I'm still uncertain about how I feel about Mayern, because I see the potential. I really do see the potential, but he is also a rifler that's been made into an AWPer. I don't know. I think maybe there are other options out there. He's coming with some clutch moments. You know, I wouldn't say he's a slouch. Just wouldn't have necessarily been a first choice, but he seems to fit the atmosphere. And is certainly taking the successes in stride.
Yeah, I would definitely tend to agree with that. I think if you were being nitpicky, especially after that major performance, and you would say, like, what's the weakness of this team? I think you would have to say Mayan. Because sure yeah. he can clutch. He's obviously good with the rifle because, as you say, he's kind of like transitioned from rifling to AWPing. But there will be games, especially when you're playing against those top 5, top 10 teams, and you're playing against the Munacy, you're playing against the Zaiwu, he's just going to get outshone. And it will be a very big part of the piece of puzzle that goes with him. So that is a concern to me. But yeah, Tomishin plays for Bestia, right? And I think been very solid since like 2023, 2024-ish, when he was kind of becoming a little bit more known. So yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a very interesting shout for me. In terms of AWPers, the 90, I don't know who they'd pick up. That's the only concern.
They fostered a guy for ages. Try.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, yeah, who's played for Passion UA, I think, most recently.
Maybe that's the way forward. We'll have to wait and see what happens with 9Z.
Yeah, they've tried a bunch. I mean, they even had Martinez for a little while. So they've been shopping around. There's a whole bunch of teams that could use upgrades, so maybe we're being too hasty. Sinners are going to need more than what they've got, though, to deal with this 9Z buy. See, it's an M4, a Scout, there's a Mag 7 in there.
There's going to be a torrent of grenades as well being tossed in their direction. There's got smokes that can even jump down into CT. The Sinners aren't aware of this. They don't have any players positioned. It is a bit of a ruse, though, because all the T's are starting to make a move over onto the site. Flashes through. Beasting with just the 5-7. The grenade softens up the targets. It's good, but Luchop's aim is better. And DGT's going to come alongside that one and put one more body to the dirt. Stress and try as he may, is unable to stop the rot. The bomb does get planted. 2-on-4 retake. And this is looking so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, even saving the M4 might just be a fever dream. There's no... They're just getting bodied. They're getting bodied on quite a few of these peaks. I mean, yeah, they weren't well equipped in this round, that's true. But they also missed their sight model. And so there was a real chance that they'd encounter serious difficulties cracking into the A site. They knew that there was likely a player behind default, but there was a real concern that they'd be getting swung from ramp. They'd have to worry about the flank emerging short side if they lost any members on their progression past Gandalf. You know, attention from that player looking at that flank may have been diverted. So the fact that they missed that sight molly, that's a little bit of a miss, but it doesn't actually cause them any great deal of harm. Ugly spray there from Wasso, but yeah, at least Max gets the trade.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised at that. You'd bet on him to get that kill, especially against the 5-7 most days of the week, but at least they do get the trade, as you said, and they're able to pull the plug and get out of there. There is a reactive play from Sinners, understandably, with their complete lack of firepower. I mean, they've got 4 MP9s in play, a lack of grenades. They kind of have to go for these Hail Mary plays. But in the meanwhile, 9Z, who've not really gone for the B site so far on this T half, it's been more A and mid-centered. Going to be maneuvering 3 of their 4 players, including the bomb carrier of Mayan, into upper tunnels. This would just effectively be against Shock. He's got an MP9 and a grenade by his side.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure how I feel about that reaction from Sinners, because it just rescinded so much control of the map, and it leaves them on an island where Shock will receive no support. There is no plan to help him if it is a B site take. With 9Z resetting this direction, this could be the final curtain call. Just the MP9 alone on the site, and he can't even track the first emerging from the tunnel. It's Mayern that created the space and disruption from his AWP. He used the Tech 9 instead. And so it has to be a 3-on-4 retake where they come in with poor weaponry, a kit on Stress Arn, and only this retake. They're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, it's looking bleak. Curtain beginning to come down. Put them at a 0-2. Standing in the event, they at least isolate DGT with a Molotov. Force them out into the open. The AWP and AK, though, going to be ringing out Easy Motto and a Scout against the world, and he won't stand for much longer. And that's going to get 9Z their first win at the event and keep themselves away from that very, very dicey 0-2 standing. Sinners never really looked like they were going to get into this game. And the really damning part of it too, Yumi, which kind of sucks to say, but it is the truth, all 5 of their rounds are off the back of winning both pistols. When it got to rifles, Sinners did nothing this game. Yeah,
they just got outworked. The ability of players like Digit to just be so disruptive, for Luchov to serve as an opener, and all the supplementary kills you get from the rest of the core. it was too much to handle, and nobody could stack up pound for pound against the firepower, the output. I would say, you know, there were more times where we saw Sinners set up for a nice flash play where the 9Z players were blinded and caught off guard by the utility. I'd say from a utility standpoint, Sinners probably played arguably the better game, but when it came down to more raw duels, more engagements of that nature, then it really, we did see a class difference. So, I mean, a really solid outing from 9Z. They put themselves into that 1-1 category. They did not want to be 0-2, especially given where we would maybe put them projected in this tournament. And there were some difficulties, perhaps, for the Sinners to get their legs underneath them. They're down to the 0-2 bracket.
Did you just need some time?
We can't listen to you, but we'll keep quiet so you guys can have a listen to it yourselves.
Yes, I think we start a bit slow, and also we lose the pistol, and that's, I think, because we lose some rounds. And then we start to get confidence, and that's very important for us to play better.
我们今天开局不是很顺，我们首枪局输了，然后又输了，然后后面很多局也输了。然后但对于我们来说呢，就我们只要开始赢了之后呢，我们的这个信心起来了，信心建立起来了啊，就变顺了。
When you talk about confidence, it seems to me when I watch your games and look at you as an individual player, you can even maybe start bad, but once you get going, you're so sharp and you build up in momentum, you start taking more fights. Do you feel it that just like once it starts connecting, you can do anything and you can challenge anyone?
Yes, I agree a bit. Also, I think sometimes that is bad for me because I took some fights that is not very comfortable, but I think I have a good time and I think I have to use that.
对于我来说，我有的时候是一个比较慢热的选手，就我有的时候呢，可能去找一些不是很有优势的对枪，但是我觉得我的枪法还是挺好的，所以当我就是赢了很多这种对枪，然后我的信心开始爆棚之后呢，我就会发挥得更好。
Now looking at your game yesterday against Eyeballers, what do you think went wrong in that match for you guys? Because everyone kind of had you guys as the favorites, especially with how well you guys played at the major.
Yes, we had some days without CS. I think that was important. We had a very good CT side, and then we go to T side, and I think we play like the game was done, and that wasn't good, and we stopped to taking decisions and communication like the first half, and I think that was what happened.
就是我们昨天对阵 Eyeballers， 然后后来被翻盘了哈，因为我们其实上半场我们其实 CT 打得挺好的，但是后来呢，就换边之后，我们这边可能就决策出了一点问题，然后沟通也出了一些问题啊，就被翻盘了。
And looking at you guys with how well we saw you play at the major, now coming into this tournament, it's a bit of a different feeling. You're considered one of the favorites. Do you see that as yourselves? Like your only goal here is just aiming at that trophy?
Yes, I think we are not thinking in that a lot, but we came here and we knew that we have very good chances to win, and also there is a lot of good teams, so it never will be easy. So we have to fight a lot and play good, and I think in that way we could win.
就大家也知道，我们 Major 打得也比较好，所以我们来这届比赛呢，我们的目标确实就是最后的这个冠军。我觉得我们是有实力拿这个冠军的。不过呢，这届比赛确实有很多比较强的队，所以我们也是不能掉以轻心啊。
And this Chinese community is loving you guys right now. We're hearing the Let's Go 9Z chants happen. I see you guys spending a lot of time signing and stuff with them. Anything you want to say to them?
Yes, of course. I want to say that 9Z are very happy with you. We feel that support and it's amazing, and that's it. We love China and people here is very good, and we are happy to be here.
好，我们感谢 Lucha。
Low manpower advantage belongs to Entropy. Playing very slow and with Jordy. But a lineup goes Pavlicia's way. A quick triple. completely destroys the defense. Only Flaw and Dottie remain, and the latter is only on 13, or rather on 30 HP. Tried to do something, couldn't manage it. It seems like they will be willing to pull the plug out of this round. Now, they might decide to go for it, especially with Flaw's kill. Somehow, this round still has a few twists and turns as Dottie collects Debo as well. Bomb planted, Pavlisha on 28. Somehow, Entropy might get a chance to get there first. Now it's a 1 versus 1, but does Pavlisha expect Flaw to come all the way from long? No kit, something to keep in mind, but the bomb still has a long way to go before it explodes. And Pavlisha is expecting short, so much space already gained by Flaw. Pavlisha needs to be perfect, and he will. An ace to keep his opponent. You see 3 CTs on long, you expect it's danger. Pavlisha sees that as an opportunity. And Endless Journey will be taking a tactical timeout, probably just to cool off, cool down, and let Entropy stew in things. A few rounds so far could have gone their way, but didn't, and that hurts, especially in map number 3. Full loss bonus means that they can buy it. They want to bring the fight to them. No utility on the CTs. They know they need to just try and get the kills, but it doesn't seem to be going their way with so much damage already dealt to them. The only player that lost HP on the side of Endless Journey is Sweatsy, and he has an op, so should not really be that big of an issue for him. Tevzi cleared out from lower tunnel. Now bin control belongs to DJ. Anything Entropy want to do need to be considered. Needs to be smart. They need to defend these bomb sites. Dottie ready at the waiting. Though Flaw dead, Dottie dead as well. 4 versus 2. Seems like a clean round finally for Endless Journey, though the previous one seemed as well, and it went haywire very quickly. Bad spacing, though Gego dead, and they know exactly where Raftu is. This bomb should already be rotating to that A bomb site. They have everything, but they still want to tighten the noose and not even left Raftu save that AK. Now they have the right idea. Leave 2 players on mid, not let Raftu rotate while Sweatsy goes and plants that C4. It's going to be a 5-0 start from Endless Journey. Entropy might be a bit gutted. A shot from the op, that's additional information. They don't have a lot of money, but they still can try and sniff out this AK, knowing that Raftu did take some damage already, and seems like they're ready to do just that with 2 players in tunnels, and Sweatsy just looking for a potential peek towards mid. Raftu's going to have to be perfect just to save this AK-47. Not going to be the case, as Pavlisha hits double digits. CT economy under heavy strain. Thought he's going to have an M4, a hero M4 at that. His teammates will be conserving money for the next. Quick smoke to long doors. But the side of Endless Journey currently uninterested in taking long control. They know that the money and the weaponry on the side of Entropy is not the best, even though they have full loss bonus. So you can sort of anticipate the idea that you might be stacking a position and hoping that Pavlisha gets a triple on long go. Not really always the best gamble, but this is. Just send your players forward, So they try and punish an overzealous CT, which was the case here. The cleanup, simple as you like. The only one remaining is Raftu, and they should have an idea of where he could be. And they're going to take even this SMG out of his cold, dead hands. Seemingly. Just got his hands on an AK for a short while. And the journey hit 6. Back on a buy. Entropy goes. Tevzi back on that AWP. Didn't manage to find much last time he had it. Hopefully for him, this round is going to be a different story. Hopefully for the competitive nature of this match. And the first 2 maps were quite competitive. This one does not seem like it. A 6-0 deficit can be overcome. But you need to try your damnedest to do it. Some trading of utility, maintaining control is the side of Endless Journey. Again, 3 players towards long from the side of Entropy. So there will be some CT presence on A should EJ decide to go for that position. Cross smokes on mid. Won't really show a lot, given that there is Dottie over there. He's going to take care of the first. Did get damaged a lot, left only on 2 points of health, but that's a +1 for his team nonetheless. CT smoke, again. Just the idea of keeping the rotators at bay as they decide to hit A, but still, that leaves those A defenders quite ready for any attack that may come their way. 35 seconds on the clock. At some point, you would expect that Endless Journey need to pull the trigger. That moment is now. Undecided maybe still as to where they want to go. Long duel will paint a picture of this round. A lot of trouble for those CTs as they might get stretched just a tad. Elliott finds the first, though Raftu answers back. Dottie dead as well. Round crumbling yet again. Completely blind is Tevzi, and his flaw in a 1 versus 2. Not impossible, though. Look at the HP of the T's, but they have 2 ops at the ready. They're help